the swatches palette, I'm just placing these blue swatches in between all of my various gray swatches. For instance, all of these had to do with the side of the hard drive. Now we've got this blue, so we know that we're moving on to the front of the hard drive. It's just so we don't get confused with all these different shades of gray up here in the swatches palette. So grab that gray at the very bottom. That's the bottom. We've got this lighter gray coming toward the center. And then again, a somewhat darker gray at the top. Come back over here to the computer. Move my swatches palette out of the way. Alright, we're going to select the front of it. Again, get rid of that stroke. I just switched it to the fill. But we're going to switch the gradient to the fill. Alright, and I have this gradient that we were just working with. I'm going to switch it to the default black to white. And I'm going to drag in that darker gray. I'm going to drag the lighter gray to about the center. And then this other gray to that far side. And I'm going to make it go straight 90 degrees, straight up and down. That looks about right. Maybe we should move this down a little bit to about 40%. That looks good. So that's our base gradient. One thing I do want to do with this is just apply a stroke. We may take the stroke off later on, but we shall see. Give it the darker gradient, actually an even darker gradient than that. This graphite default swatch is good. Grab that stroke palette again and reduce the stroke to 0.25 and hit this align stroke, the one right here in the middle. Let's align the stroke to the inside of the shape. That way we don't have this extra bleeding. You know, let's move it up to, now a half is definitely too big. Well, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that. No, you know what, a half looks pretty good. Let's leave it at a half for now. If we need to change it later on, we can always do that. Zoom back in on the computer. I'm getting a little cluttered here. I'm going to move that hard drive out of the